Hello, everyone. When you think of America, you probably imagine freedom, progress, and endless opportunities. But today, let's dive into the 5 scariest things about America that you may not know. 1. The terrifying cost of healthcare. Can you believe this? Just one emergency visit, and the bill is tens of thousands. The U.S. has one of the most advanced healthcare systems in the world. But why is it also the most expensive? Let's find out. Unlike many other nations, the U.S. doesn't have a national healthcare system. Most healthcare services here are run by private companies, meaning prices are market-driven, with profit being a top priority. The U.S. healthcare insurance system is so complex that administrative costs alone account for 30% of total healthcare spending. That's one reason you end up paying more. Drug prices in the U.S. are sky high because there's no regulation to control them. For example, insulin in the U.S. can cost 10 times more than in Canada. John, a 35-year-old teacher, had to sell his house after an emergency surgery. Stories like his are far too common in the U.S. Expensive healthcare doesn't just drain wallets. It's a major barrier to accessing essential care. What do you think needs to change to fix this issue? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to share this video. 2. Natural disasters. Every year, the United States faces some of the world's most devastating natural disasters: tornadoes, hurricanes, wildfires, and more. Why is this country so prone to such extreme weather events? From its vast geography to its unique climate, the U.S. is a hotspot for natural disasters. Tornado Alley in the central U.S. sees more tornadoes than any other place on Earth. Meanwhile, coastal states are frequent targets for hurricanes forming in the Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico. Tornadoes are formed when warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico collides with cold, dry air from Canada. The Central Plains provide the perfect flat landscape for these systems to mix, creating violent rotating storms with winds over 200 miles per hour. Wildfires in the U.S. are becoming increasingly severe due to climate change, prolonged droughts, and rising temperatures. Millions of acres are burned each year, causing significant impacts on people, wildlife, and the environment. Earthquakes in the U.S. are most common along the West Coast, particularly in California, due to the San Andreas Fault. These quakes can cause significant damage and loss of. 3. Mass shootings and public safety. Mass shootings and public safety concerns are a major issue in the U.S. Every year, the U.S. witnesses thousands of shooting incidents in schools, shopping malls, and even neighborhoods. As a result, many people worrying about their safety when going out. You've probably heard about high-profile incidents like the Sandy Hook shooting or the Las Vegas shooting. In America, the right to own a gun is protected by the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. This means that every citizen has the right to own and carry firearms. Currently, there are over 300 million guns in circulation in the U.S., more than the population of the country. From private security to hunting enthusiasts, guns are present in daily life here. Although guns are deeply embedded in American culture, not everyone agrees with the current level of gun ownership. Many organizations, like March for Our Lives, have called for stricter gun control laws, especially after mass shootings. Lawmakers are considering measures to increase background checks, restrict certain types of firearms, and improve gun safety. While owning guns is a legal right in the U.S., gun laws vary greatly from state to state. For example, in Texas, you can carry a firearm in public without a permit. But in New York, the laws are extremely strict, requiring special permits to own and carry a gun. Each state has the power to set its own rules, which leads to a big difference in how firearms are regulated across the country. So there you have it, guns and security are a crucial part of life in America. While guns are a part of the culture, there's still a lot of debate and effort to control their use and reduce the dangers they pose. For racism and social inequality in the U.S., Racism and social inequality are not new issues in America. But why, after decades of progress, do these problems still persist? Racism in the U.S. stems from a history of slavery and prolonged injustices afterward. Communities of color have faced discrimination in education, housing, and employment for generations. Economics also play a significant role. The income gap between racial groups, particularly between white and minority communities, highlights deep-seated inequalities. Racism doesn't just harm individuals, it weakens entire communities. It hinders social progress, leaving millions in insecurity, poverty, and a lack of opportunities. Racism today isn't just about words or overt actions. It's embedded in systems like the judiciary, education, and healthcare. People of color often face higher arrest and incarceration rates, along with poorer access to education and healthcare compared to other communities. Despite the challenges, there is hope. Movements like Black Lives Matter, policy reforms, and collective community efforts are paving the way for change. Young people are leading the charge, not just in the U.S. but worldwide, to build a more equitable society. Racism is an issue for all of us. Educate yourself, stand up for justice, and contribute to building a fairer future for everyone. What do you think we can do to make a difference? Share your thoughts in the comments and spread this message by sharing the video. 5 Work Pressure and Life in America. America is known as the land of opportunity, but what lies behind the American dream? Exhaustion from a never-ending work culture. Americans work an average of 47 hours per week, more than many other countries worldwide. The hustle culture, working relentlessly, is seen as the standard for success. But at what cost? Stress, burnout, and shrinking time for family and personal life. Over 77% of Americans say they feel stressed because of work. This not only affects mental health, but also leads to physical issues like insomnia, heart disease, and depression. Moreover, work pressure significantly impacts family relationships. Many admit they lack time for their children or loved ones. But not everyone is caught in this cycle. More people are realizing the importance of work-life balance. Solutions like remote work, flexible schedules, and extended leave are being adopted to help workers recharge. Work is important, but it shouldn't come at the expense of your health and happiness. Take time to live, love, and cherish every moment. Do you think work pressure in America has gone too far? Share your thoughts in the comments and follow us for more tips on balancing your life.